The powerhouse of the Eastern Caribbean, VON Radio, from the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
From the VON Newsline, this is the VON Major Newscast.
Good evening, I am Tashan Tyson, in with your VON Major News package for today, Thursday, May 23rd, 2019. In our lead stories, nationally, Nevis Disaster Management embarked on drought awareness campaign, drought concerns being addressed by Nevis Water Department, and Homeowners Association at Four Seasons Resort Nevis to make funds available for impacted workers. Regionally, RAPF in Angola reports reduction in crime for the first quarter of 2019. Internationally, IMF warns U.S.-China trade war will jeopardize 2019 global growth. And in sports, VPL Female League to begin in June. We'll have the details of these and other stories after this message.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, VON.
Welcome back, and all the national news in detail. The Nevis Disaster Management Department has embarked on a drought outreach awareness campaign throughout the month of May. The effort is in collaboration with faith-based organizations and the Education Department. Drought refers to a prolonged period of abnormally low rainfall leading to a shortage of water. As such, a number of activities have been planned by the department to educate and spread this awareness. Mr. Clayshawn Wilson, an electrician of the Water Production Division at the Nevis Water Department, noted that here on Nevis, there are 4 types of droughts that affect the island.
We have firstly the meteorological drought that affects the actual atmospheric temperatures. Secondly, we have the hydrological drought that affects our groundwater resource. For we all know that Nevis is an island that produces groundwater, 90% groundwater than surface water. Thirdly, we have agricultural drought that affects the agricultural department that deals with plants, affecting of plants, soil texture. And we have the socio-economic drought, which is also impacting to the reduction of goods and services that have been impacted by drought.
Mr. Wilson further indicated that the island is experiencing a serious drought condition.
At the present moment, you realize that the water department are going into a state of water rationing, which we have to do because the supply seems to be lower than the actual demand. Now, the drought begins to affect the hydrological aspect of our department, which we're talking about our wells. The state of drought in Nevis is a serious concern. We have already been feeling the effects, and we have put plans in action. We understand that drought can cause serious harm to us, so we have put things in place that we have to manage our water supply in such a way that we don't overwork them in this time of drought. We at the Nevis Water Department are very aware that the drought can be very prolonged, it can be very harmful, and it can be very detrimental to our country's water supply.
Mr. Clayshawn Wilson. Meantime, the Nevis Island Administration, NIA, is in search of 2 ways to improve the drought situation here on the island of Nevis, as the phenomenon continues to plague the entire region. Minister with responsibility for water here in Nevis is the Honorable Spencer Brand.
This drought is a very serious drought. From all reports that I've had and I've seen, that it's one of the worst that we have had in a very long time. But we continue, Mr. President, to impress upon BEAD, who still have a contract with the NIA to explore for additional water. They have given us some advice that they are pursuing certain avenues in which they can start this project, and we are hoping, Mr. President, that they can get this project on stream very quickly. It's a project of finding new water and just turning over the wells to us immediately.
During a sitting of the Nevis Island Assembly on Tuesday, May 21st, he also intimated that a filtration system at the well in Hamilton here on Nevis will help to make things better.
I also want to indicate that we continue to pursue the filtration system at a well that was laying around in the Hamilton area for some time, and we are just about, Mr. President, to have that process up and running, as we would have selected our supplier for that filtration system. We have also signed a contract for a 400,000+ gallon water tank to be constructed in the Hamilton area. And Mr. President, I am of the view that once this filtration system is online and once this water storage tank in the Hamilton area is constructed, we will see significant relief in the water situation. And we are hoping, Mr. President, that this can be completed during the latter part of this year.
Minister with responsibility for water here in Nevis, the Honorable Spencer Brand. In more national news.
The government has been advised that the Homeowners Association at the Four Seasons Resort has agreed to make a pool of funds available to top up payments to the affected workers. I cannot today disclose more, as the total funds and the methodology for distribution among the affected workers are still being finalized. This gesture by the homeowners, however, will ensure that affected workers get additional financial relief during the period of the closure.
Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley. During Tuesday's sitting of the Nevis Island Assembly, Mr. Brantley was speaking about the temporary closure of the Four Seasons Resort Nevis. The closure will commence on June 1st, 2019, and workers will return in October 2019. It will also impact over 400 employees at the resort. Premier Brantley said that the DCK Construction Company held a job fair for the workers.
My government had made it clear to the Four Seasons and to DCK that workers affected by the temporary closure who were qualified should be given first preference for employment in the construction process. As a result, DCK held a job fair exclusively for affected Four Seasons workers on May 6th, before the more general job fair for the general public. We are advised that about 100 of the 400+ affected workers applied to DCK, and we await word as to how many would have been successful. The Four Seasons has also advised that positions at other Four Seasons resorts globally, where available, will be another opportunity for some workers who qualify to take up during this 4-month period of temporary closure.
Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley. Nevis's Premier and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Mark Brantley, has provided some numbers relating to the monthly payments of civil servants' salaries. To wit, he gave some numbers about how much money was paid out in 2017 and 2018.
2017, that was $18.54 million. That's what every month was paid in wages in Nevis in 2017. By 2018, that amount had increased to $19.04 million per month. And when you think about the size of the Nevis economy, to have $19 million every month circulated in the economy as wages is, I think, very significant.
The money paid out in 2018 is an increase of $500,000 from 2017. At his monthly press conference on May 1st, 2019, he added that females earned more money than the males in 2018.
We wanted to do even better in terms of our wages and our jobs, but I think we're moving in the right direction. Of the $19.04 million in average monthly wages, $9.75 million was paid to females, and $9.29 million was paid to males.
Nevis's Premier and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Mark Brantley. The Agriculture Department here in Nevis is set to host its first ever farmers market. The event is slated to be held tomorrow, Friday, 24th May 2019. Director at the department, Mr. Randy Elliott, spoke to the VON Newsline as to how the initiative came about.
The farmers market is something that we had in concept in 2018, right after the 24th annual Open Day. We would have pitched the idea to one or two of the farmers who actually took part at the Open Day in 2019 in terms of how an event of such would assist our farmers and how an event of such help to move food from the farm to the tables. And it is something that we decided that we're going to launch it this year after speaking with our farmers. We have about 8 farmers currently on board in terms of the farmers market.
Mr. Elliott explained that the local products on sale at the market will be at a very affordable price to the general public.
We are starting at 4, but our farmers will be in place from like 3:30. There will be live entertainment, and we're going until 8 p.m. It is expecting to be where you could come, you could get cheap or affordable local food. The food that will be sold there will be sold at farm price, so I don't think you get any prices better than what you're going to get there. It's a top of government road or next to Club Chenin.
The director also indicated that it is the hope of his department to expand the activity.
What we are hoping that it moves beyond just a farmer's market. We are looking for it to move beyond where we have agro-processors taking place. We have persons who are doing local craft to come and take part in it. So it's on that vision we are hoping that this event will be able to go. For now, we are looking at it as a monthly activity for now, but again, it always leaves room for tweaking as we go along.
Director at the Department of Agriculture, Mr. Randy Elliott. Will the government once again renovate or refurbish the public schools here in Nevis? That's a question posed to Junior Minister of Education here in Nevis, the Honorable Troy Liburd. He was a guest during last Thursday's edition of the Nevis Island Administration's Government at Work program. Back in 2018, renovation work was also done. This was the minister's response.
Some of the primary schools, we have things that really need to be done, kitchens, those type of things, and we'll get some of them sorted out this summer. What we're doing is prioritizing. Of course, the permanent secretary, myself, and the person supervising the maintenance team, they go around. Also, the public works department is very much going to be involved with what we are doing in terms of the larger work. And so there's quite a bit to look forward to in terms of maintenance and refurbishing over the summer.
He explained that more work will be done on the larger schools.
In terms of what we're planning to do for the summer, the two high schools, both of them are very large. Charlestown Secondary, there's it's a large collection of buildings. Gingerland Secondary, the same thing. So they're going to take up the bulk of the work. In terms of the primary schools, you'll see a little less work on the primary schools.
The Honorable Troy Liburd. The Nevis Renal Society will be hosting its 7th annual Renal Walk on Saturday, 25th May 2019. President of the Nevis Renal Society, Ms. Sherilyn Pemberton, in an interview with the VON Newsline, shared the route of the walk.
The route that we will be taking will be starting at the David Walwyn Exercise Playground, there at Bass Plain. We are going to take the road immediately next to the playground that is close to the cemetery, and we're going to go up to Bass Plain. We make a left onto where Stuart has his ice vending place, and then we make a right onto the Port Road. Then we come back via the main road by the roundabout back to where we started at the David Walwyn Playground, where we'll have a sumptuous and healthy breakfast.
The President also explained that the Society has been steadfast about imparting knowledge about renal kidney health to the entire Nevisian public.
We have been sensitizing the public over the years, and I think there need to be a lot more educational sessions. And this is something that we are trying to get into, because at the end of the day, it's mostly preventative care that we are taking care of. And this is where the educational sessions comes in. We have had a week of activity there in March, and we did a lot of educational sessions. And in one of the private places there at the port, we did a health screening there. So the general public is gradually becoming aware of the need to take ownership of their own health and to make informed decisions based on the information that they have been getting.
President of the Nevis Renal Society, Ms. Sherilyn Pemberton. On March 14, 2019, St. Kitts and Nevis joined the rest of the world in observing World Kidney Day. During this period, the Nevis Renal Society held a number of activities where they engaged the general public and schools about kidney health. The 2019 campaign focused on the burden of kidney disease, disparities, and access to health care. The day was observed under the theme, Kidney Health for Everyone, Everywhere. And finally,
Family Book Feud is a competition organized by the school librarian on Nevis. It's a competition that is geared towards getting families to read together. We understand that if we want our children to become readers, it's not just something that we can do at school. It has to start at home. And we have noticed over the years that the time that families spent reading together has drastically decreased, and we are seeing the effects of that. And so in order to help us to curtail that and to get families back on track, reading, spending time together with the children in the family, we came up with this competition.
Coordinator of this year's Family Book Feud competition, Ms. Londa Brown, speaking to the VOA Newsline. Into its 10th year since its inception in May of 2010, the Family Book Feud involves registered families competing in a variety of reading-related categories. Ms. Brown provided further details about the competition.
We have had students who were academic or seen as academic participate in the competition. We have had students who may have been struggling in terms of reading and academic. We've had those kind of students who have participated in the competition. We've had students who love reading. We've had parents who love reading. We've had a wide range of families participating in the competition over the years, and I think that is one of the beauties of the competition, is that it is not an intelligence test. It is not a test of who could read the best or who could read the most. It's just an activity that once you spend the time together, you get the results and you are able to be successful in the competition.
Coordinator of Family Book Feud, Ms. Londa Brown. The date of this year's Family Book Feud was scheduled for Saturday, May 25th, but according to Ms. Brown, it has been postponed to Sunday, July 14th, 2019. Ms. Brown also encourages families wishing to participate in the competition to register and further added that pre-sold tickets are $5 and are available for purchase at all schools as well as at the Department of Education. That's the national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com or check us out on Facebook at Von Radio or our Von Radio YouTube channel for these and other stories. News from across the region is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, this here's another one for the steppers.
Swipe to win big in 2019. That's right, the Bank of Nevis Limited is once again giving you, our valued customers, a chance to win big. Just swipe or use your Bond Visa credit card for US $100 for a chance to win a cruise for two, an iPhone XS, or a grocery dash at Best Buy Supermarket.
Say what?
Sign up for a Bond Visa credit card and automatically be entered for a chance to win. This offer ends August 31st, 2019. So tell your friends and family, just swipe to win big with the Bank of Nevis. The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life. Like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram.
Welcome back. Another regional news in detail. The Royal Anguilla Police Force, RAPF, has released statistics comparing the first 3 months of 2019 with the same period in 2018. Overall, the amount of actual crime has reduced by 22%, down from 218 to 171 crimes in the period, while those brought to justice has more than doubled, up to the 52%. Figures for serious crime remain roughly the same. There was an encouraging increase in seizures of firearms and ammunition, reflecting the priority the RAPF places on addressing the problem of guns and the professionalism of their investigations. The figures also show an increase in the number of sexual offenses, which in significant part demonstrates a greater willingness of victims to report, in itself a good sign, and the efforts in child safeguarding. Out of Antigua and Barbuda. Relevant authorities have advised citizens of recall of machine-readable passports, which they aim to fully replace with e-passports by January 1st next year. The Antigua and Barbuda Passport Office issued an advisory concerning the commencement of a recall of all machine-readable Antigua and Barbuda passports as a result of a decision by the Cabinet to discontinue the dual use of machine-readable and e-passports. The phasing out process will take effect from June 1st, 2019. The Chief of Staff in the Office of the Prime Minister, Lionel Maxhurst, said a recall of the country's passports will keep Antigua and Barbuda up to date with the latest technology, and that move by the government will facilitate international compliance. He further explained the difference between the recalled machine-readable passport and the e-passport. The machine-readable document will become invalid on December 31, 2019 to facilitate the phasing-out process. Only e-passports will be valid for travel as of January 1, 2020. And finally, out of the British Virgin Islands. The expected boom in employment on Virgin Gorda is likely to positively impact banking services on the sister island, 9th District Representative Vincent Wheatley has said. Wheatley said with several hotels, resorts and restaurants scheduled to reopen late this year into next year, the number of operation days for Banco Popular will likely increase. The bank is slated to begin operations on Virgin Gorda by August. Mr. Wheatley said it will be full service but not all week. Based on talks he has had with officials from the bank, Wheatley said operations on Virgin Gorda could begin even sooner. That's it for the regional stories. Stay with us for news from around the world. Welcome back, and now the international news in detail. The IMF warned Thursday that the escalating U.S.-China trade war will jeopardize 2019 global growth, undermining confidence and raising prices for consumers. Consumers in the U.S. and China are unequivocally the losers from trade tensions, Jita Gopinath, the International Monetary Fund's chief economist, said in a blog post directly refuting U.S. President Donald Trump's claim that the tariffs are paid by China and provide a windfall for the U.S. Treasury. She and her co-authors warned the economic damage will be even worse if Trump goes through with the threat to impose steep tariffs on all goods imported from China, as that will subtract about 1/3 of a percentage point of global GDP in the short term. Tornadoes have killed at least 3 people in Missouri, bringing the death toll from twisters across the U.S. Midwest in recent days to 7. All 3 deaths overnight were in Golden City. Another tornado hit the state capital, Jefferson City. Around 20 people have been rescued in Jefferson City, where buildings were damaged and cars tossed about. Missouri saw 2 other weather-related deaths early this week, along with 1 in Oklahoma and another in Iowa. The authorities in Uganda have banned people from giving money or food to street children in the capital, Kampala. Children are also forbidden from engaging in petty trade. The BBC's Dyer John reports from Kampala.
It is a familiar scene on the streets of Kampala. Children as young as 7 navigating their way through the traffic, selling items or begging. But giving them money or food could now land you in jail for 6 months, or you could pay a fine of $11. The law will also penalize traffickers, agents and parents of the children found begging or selling items on the street. The government estimates that there are as many as 15,000 children, and the number continues to climb.
And finally, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has promised to unite the country after a resounding election victory. The governing Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, and its allies are projected to get nearly 350 seats in the 540 parliament. Mr. Modi said India had won again and promised to build a stronger country. National spokesman for the BJP, Nalin Kohli, said the victory was an endorsement of Prime Minister Modi and his policies.
Well, it's definitely a very big mandate, no question about that. To have a pro-incumbency mandate in the manner in which you get 2 terms with clear majority is one that makes us aware that we have a huge task in terms of the aspirations of 1 billion+ people, in terms of the hope that they've latched onto Prime Minister Modi personally as the Prime Minister and the agenda of his government.
That's it for our news segment. The latest in sports is next.
See you, John.
Betty, how come you never tell me what's going on up at TDC?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because TDC Automotive has some awesome deals. Get the car a new spare tire for just $100 plus VAT. And they have selected tires for 30% off. And for the Jeep, if you buy a selected Goodyear tire, you can get a second one for just $99.
Well, well.
And not finished yet. They're offering up to 30% off selected Valvoline oils and Universal car mats and a whopping 50% off Energix batteries.
TDC Automotive not making no joke. I going up there now.
Welcome back. Another sports in detail. In the wake of hosting the Village Premier League VPL for the past 7 years, the organizers have indicated that plans are afoot to commence a female VPL league on Sunday, June 18th. There will be no registration fee. A sponsor has already volunteered to cover the league, and the proposed prizes are as follows: winning team $500, second place $300, third place $200. In local basketball, Mrs. Wanda Parry, France, has informed that in recognition of the fact that perennial sponsors of the sport of basketball, Lefco Equipment Rental and Construction Limited, is celebrating its 25th year of existence, there will be a knockout tournament at the Church Ground Court this coming Sunday, 26th May. The tournament will feature a series of fun matches consisting of teams of 7, with the action scheduled to commence at 6:45 p.m. The general public is asked to come out in their numbers to witness some exciting games, get some of Jean Parry's famous hot dogs in the process, and support the team of their choice, all the while thanking Lefco for the many years of sponsoring basketball on the island. That's it for sports. The general weather forecast is next. Welcome back, and now the local weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. Weather tonight will be partly cloudy with a 10% or a slight chance of showers. Weather tomorrow will be partly sunny with a 10% or slight chance of showers. Winds are east to southeast at 15 to 30 kilometers per hour or 8 to 16 knots with occasional strong gusts. Seas are less than 1.5 meters or less than 5 feet. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:37 a.m. And that's her wrap up the major news package for today, Thursday, May 23rd, 2019. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, Nevis Disaster Management embarked on drought awareness campaign, drought concerns being addressed by Nevis Water Department, and Homeowners Association at Four Seasons Resort Nevis to make funds available for impacted workers. Regionally, RAPF in Anguilla reports reduction in crime for the first quarter of 2019. Internationally, IMF warns U.S.-China trade war will jeopardize 2019 global growth. And in sports, VPL Female League to begin in June. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Tashan Tyson, wishing you a pleasant evening.